This right here, girl, is an ad. I'm going to need you to get you some of this Just Move Energy supplement so you can have the energy to get your workouts done like I need to get mine done, girl. It is sometimes a struggle and you need a little extra. Plus the protein shakes. I don't have an appetite a lot of the time. Protein shakes really help me after the workout because I do not want to be on the massage table with my stomach growling because that's where I'm going after this, okay? So I get my protein shake done before, boom, I got both of them. I'm ready, okay? I'm getting old. My knees is a problem. Do you see me warming it up? Do you see me trying to stretch it out? That's 35 pounds. I'm squatting 35 pounds. I'm proud. You can get those gloves and other workout gear from TeamLASHAE.com. The link is down below in the description box, girl. Yes. Girl, I have to give it to myself. You look good, girl. You look good. Juvie. I just had to put him in here because he's cute. I'm on my way to the spa, girl. Piece of serenity. My homegirl does not want to be seen, but she does the best massages. I go to her at least once a week for this muscle situation, girl. And she also gave me this massage cream with CBD in it that really helps with my aches and my pain. So get you some. All of this. Get you some. 15% off with my Relax Me Bondy code. Okay, girl? Get it. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hi, everybody. What's going on? We're back. Hi. What's going on, girl? What's going on, guys? Hi. What's happening? What happening? Girl, I'm almost out of my good incense, girl. I'm almost out of my good incense. Whew. Child, I had to take a little day off, okay? Did you miss me? And a pretty lady, and then sign some autograph, and you know that, show boing boing. Okay, listen. Varnell man can. Who can save the children? Bounce them on their knees. Bounce them on the knee and sing a melody. The Varnell man. Hee-hoo. Did you miss me? All right, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to, you know what I'm saying. I had to get the energy up. Can y'all hear me? Ciao. Let's see. Let's see. Can y'all hear me? It feels like you can. It feels like you can, girl. It feels like you can. I do want to fix this graphic though, because I'm tired of the graphics being over my face like this. I'm tired of having to scooch. I don't want to scooch. But we're about to get into Ready to Love. And I'm still in a place where Ready to Love, like, girl, why am I here? Why am I here with these people? Girl, what's going on? Why are we doing this to ourselves? It's so problematic. It's so problematic. Like y'all, this is like one of those times where I just get so fucking exhausted. And I get exhausted because I know my way of thinking. It's different. Okay. I'm aware. People always want to tell me how, girl, I ain't really agree with you. And then, I don't always agree with you, girl. I don't always agree with you. I'm just saying I don't always agree with you. And I'm just kind of like, I just want y'all to know I don't think that anybody always agrees with me. I don't think that they should. You know what I'm saying? That's weird if you do. Always. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody agrees with everybody all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I understand these things. I do. But y'all, Ready to Love is just extremely problematic for me. And I feel like it does not matter how you slice it. This shit is problematic. The way people just the way they relate to each other, girl, it's just real problematic. And I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest. I'm trying to see if I can fix this graphic, y'all. If I can make this less in my face. Let me see. And then sign some autographs. Shaboing boing. I don't think I can, girl. Cause I didn't want to look, I didn't want to go looking for all of those people. I'm gonna just leave it the way it is. I don't care. Bondi, I checked out if our TL seasons ago. I just watch reviews. I think it's time for them to end this show. It's lost its magic. Miami is too lazy to even try to date. I feel sorry for the singles there. I guess you had a laborless holiday like I did, which is why I was looking for my YouTube phase. Child, I sure did. Hey, my thank girl. Listen, when I tell y'all I had a good nap on my sofa, a good nap on my sofa, Savannah girl. And I'm supposed to be getting the rest of my sofa today, finally, after months and months and months of waiting. So that should be exciting. Already can't really see everybody. So I'm gonna just leave it as is and we're gonna fuck with it. Are y'all ready? Or have we liked the video when y'all came in? Have y'all liked it? Do y'all like it yet? Probably not. Okay, well, let's see if you can like it. Let's see. But it's it is an accurate depiction of this excrement-filled dating pool. Well, that says a lot. I'm glad I'm not dating anymore. I tell y'all all the time, like I would just either go back to women or be by myself. Like I love the fact that I bitch, I will go back to a woman in a minute. Like what? If I had to date, like that's why I wouldn't be worrying about these niggas because I would just be like, okay, girl, it is now time to find me a real nice, professionally dressed lesbian with locks in a closet full of button-down shirts. So, to go ahead and try to create life with because I don't know what's going on. Love your TikTok contact. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want them to spray Swayze for not dating black women and be on the show about black women. I can't wait to see that interaction next week. I can't wait to see that interaction next week, y'all. My eyelash is in my eye. It's killing me. All right. So let's get into the notes. Okay. All right, girl. Hold up. Because, it just feels like some of my eye. That's what it feels like. Ugh. Girl, your lashes. When your lashes be trying to attack you, they be like, bitch, I'm a turn. I don't care if it hurts your eye. Okay, here we go. All right. So LJ and Sharice go salsa dancing. This kind of reinforced me liking LJ. And I really feel like I like LJ just because I can tell that LJ is a man that will compete for a woman's affections, for one. And I think that's cool. And for two, I appreciate the fact that he doesn't allow himself to get angry. If things make him uncomfortable, if he feels away, we have not seen LJ act in anger or shame the women or put them in an adversarial position. Like I feel like a lot of these men in their interactions with the women, especially like Mike and them, I feel like their strategy with these women is to make the women feel insecure in some very small way. And it is a way to make the woman feel as if she now has something to prove to the man versus the man having something to prove to the woman. And I know that a lot of y'all don't like that. Y'all feel like, we should have something to prove to each other, or women should be the only ones having to prove something to men. But to me, I feel like when men had to actually court women and women had their pick of the litter, I don't feel like this was actually a black people thing. I feel like this is a white people thing, but I also feel like it worked for this type of patriarchal setup that, Ready to Love and all of the own shows, Black Church Lady, which y'all base y'all relationship situations off of, y'all gender roles, how y'all expect these things to go. I think that it worked best when men had to vie for the affections of a woman, because essentially most women are going to supply the main things that a man wants, okay? Which is some type of nurturing, some type of sex, and hopefully the ability to have children and or help build something. None of the women on this show, I believe, are bums. It's crazy to me that they'll have all of these people on these shows, y'all, and there is never one woman that is without a job, without a college degree, without some form of real income coming in being on this show. But there's always a dude. There's always like dudes on these shows that are telling us they're doing something, and that's not what they're doing. And so it's very perplexing for me when we have these conversations, the way everybody acts as if it's more likely that a woman would be lying about her life than a man lying about his. And I feel like if it's more likely that a man is to lie, fake and front about what he has to get a woman, he should be the one that has to prove something more so than the woman, because she's going to come to the table obviously with what she already has. A lot of you men only want women based off of how they look anyway. It's really based off of how they look anyway for you most of the time. So you already see what you want. The woman has to figure out if you're actually what she wants, because what she wants is more than just about looks. You have to be able to provide and protect for her. And a lot of men like to pretend like they can provide and protect when really that's not what they do. It's not what they're about. It's not what they do. Justice is looking for his Colombian girlfriend. Sharice and Samson connecting over being light-skinned. He's a weirdo. They don't want to work, and that goes for in bed too. Child, when I tell y'all, Justice was a perfect example of how somebody's mental can be shown in their physical. The fact that he's so stiff physically, to me, is a representation of his mental and emotional stiffness. Like, there's no movement there. And that's fine, but he'll probably end up alone. Just saying, he'll probably be one of those men that ends up alone, because essentially all women will outgrow that type of, I'm only going to give you the little bit that I can give you so that I can get the most out of you. Most women are only going to deal with that for a certain amount of time, and then they're going to age out of that if they're not getting something in return. And this nigga Justice doesn't even want to pay for dates. So you can tell that he'll probably try to keep a woman on a string, meaning he'll never give her full commitment, which is what a lot of women require in order for the playing of stupid. Because I feel like a lot of women play stupid. A lot of these women, like, basically they're more valuable to a man based off of how much they can bullshit. Like, that's what it seems like to me. When you look at the women like Kayla and Trinika and Brandy, a lot, hell, all of the women really, the men like them based off of if the women will go along with foolishness. If the women go along with foolishness, they're more valuable. If the women don't go along with foolishness, they're least valuable in this scenario. So like I said, LJ and Sharice go salsa dancing. He's not her usual type. He gives really good energy. She didn't make more of an effort to connect with him based on his assertions, okay? Which tells me that she wasn't interested, but she wanted to still go out on a date because LJ is a good time. But it doesn't mean the relationship is going to go any deeper. I do believe Sharice can be vapid. She probably does have her colorist tendencies or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? She probably has a whole shitload of issues like everybody else does. But I do feel like, I feel as if the show has decided that we're going to replace the dark complected Aunt Viv bitch role with a light complected woman bitch role. And I feel, and it's more of an elitist. I think my shit don't stink type of attitude. Like, they'll see Sharice as my shit don't stink and white woman tears. They'll see, the other black girls that have been on the show that have been dark complected, that have gotten this bitch role because they've been no nonsense, because they've noticed games and they call it out as soon as they see it. Now that I've gotten older, I realize it's probably more healthy to call things out as you see it instead of letting them, continuously press buttons and disrespect you in these little bitty ways. Like, you really, instead of going off, sometimes it should be more of a question. Like, what do you mean by that? Because I just want to be clear, because to me right now, it seems like you're saying this. So are you saying this or are you not saying this? Being direct and being 100% a lot of the times in these interactions will save you a lot of headache. Okay. It's also the way you do it. But I feel like, and I've been a testament to this, men a lot of the times will tell you it's about your delivery, but your delivery doesn't matter. They just don't want someone that is going to call them to task. You can put as much baby talking shit on it all you want to. It's not going to change the fact that if you're telling them something they don't want to hear, the actual, way you say it doesn't matter. So for me, I feel like Sharice has been made a caricature on this show. That annoys me because a lot of the times the things that she said or called out have been facts. Okay, but we'll continue on. Okay. Jamala and Randall make candles together. This scene was annoying for me. Okay, sound gone. I don't know about, is the sound going in and out, you guys? Are y'all having issues with the sound? Let me know. Because it can be a YouTube issue and it can be a mic issue, but I haven't had any mic issues recently. So y'all let me know. What are y'all hearing before I continue on? Sound is good? Okay. So it might be you, love. All right. So, okay. So I'm seeing here just fine. Okay, got it. So Jamala and Randall, the reason why Jamala and Randall scene annoyed me is because it felt as if Jamala was putting all of her feelings out on the table. Like basically telling this man she loves him. Like that's what it felt like to me. I'm like, you can say olive juice all you want to, but y'all are in a dating situation and y'all haven't gotten to the end of this and you're already throwing out, I love you. Do you think you could love me? That was a red flag for me, Jamala. Like I really like Jamala most of the time, but that was a red flag for me because I feel like even if you did feel like you were feeling that way, I feel like what I have learned about men is that you need to wait before you put it all on them like that. Okay. So y'all are still in the dating process. So after and it's not about not being real with your emotions. Okay. Because I don't want you to feel like I'm contradicting myself because you should check people when they don't, when they disrespect you in the moment or when they do something that's bothersome so that you don't have these thoughts in your mind about what they could have meant. No, ask them in the moment. That way you can clear it up because sometimes you may perceive things wrong. Okay. That's one thing. However, when you are feeling a man a lot and y'all are still in a process where he's dating other women, I believe that you should reserve your strong feelings until your strong feelings are reciprocated in some respect. After all of the things that they did during that date, kissing, hugging, olive juice, all of that shit. Okay, after all of that, he still walked out saying he was still interested in Kayla and Trinika. So all of the things that she did in that scene did not change the fact that he was still interested in those other women, meaning there was no need for you to lay all of your cards out on the table with him because he had not displayed any of his to yours yet. Like he put down one card on the table. He got 2 more cards that he's holding and you just gonna lay all 3 of yours out. Like, here it is. That's how that felt. And I just was very uncomfortable watching that interaction because it felt like he was uncomfortable with the interaction. It felt like he was just going to say whatever she wanted to hear. It also felt like he liked the fact that she was that into him, but it does not mean that he felt the same way. So y'all were embarrassed for her as well. Okay, it wasn't just me. Got it. Moving on. Swayze, Justice, Lumi, Shakira go work out on trampolines. Justice couldn't even get on the trampoline. And I was like, so you are really one of those men who look good and sound good on the outside, but on the inside, nothing. For instance, he's always talking about the way he relates to women and, the universe and all of these things. It kind of makes you feel as if he's having some deeper thought process about this than he really is. So to me, you're projecting like depth and you're not deep at all. Then when we look at you physically, you seem to project someone that is in good overall shape, which would make us think you work out, but you can't even jump on a trampoline, which makes me then feel like, okay, no, nothing about you is as you projected. And the only time you really let it be known that you're an asshole is when something is being really required of you. If anything is required of you, then you're an asshole. But if nobody's requiring anything, then you're charismatic, you're jovial, you're having a good time. And another thing I noticed about Justice is Justice likes the women who are easier to deal with. And I want y'all to recognize, women, being the girl that these niggas is cool with all the time is not a good thing. I'm that girl, y'all, and that's why I'm saying this. I'm the girl that in her mind wanted to be less of an issue than all of the other girls. I in my mind, like, if this is, y'all want to do all this extra, I don't care about all that. I'm not worrying about all of that. I don't need to do all of that. Now, I still feel that way. There are still some things I won't do, but that comes from my own ego and my own regard for my own self-respect, that there are certain things as a woman I'm not about to do. I'm not doing all of that. That doesn't come from a place of trying to make a man feel comfortable. That comes from a place of not pressing myself over somebody that ain't pressed over me. That's my mindset now. Okay, y'all, the people cutting the grass, just so y'all know, I'm gonna get real close to the mic and hope that the noise is canceled out. But when Lumi and a lot of the women just seem to be putting on their mating situation, which is high voices and being appeasing for no reason other than to not turn the man off in any way, shape, or form. And to me, the women who have the biggest connections with Justice are the women that are willing to, have the least amount of, pushback. Because Trinika, girl, what? And Lumi, even though I feel like Lumi is a little, probably a little bit more astute, a little bit more real, it still gives off bubbly, have a good time, girl. I don't know why Justice is still there. Justice has a terrible attitude. I feel like if Justice were a woman, he would have been sent home day one. If there was a woman on this show with this type of unyielding attitude towards all of the men, she would have been sent home already. Why is this type of nasty attitude and lack? Why is this okay? Because it's coming from a man. And we really want to talk about, comparisons. If we want to talk about comparisons between men and women, I need for someone to explain to me why Justice, being totally uninvolved with any of these women, not giving up, why is that okay? But if a woman was on this show displaying these same actions, y'all say she can't be like that. Remember how mad Kayla got with Sharice when she said she wasn't going to be bending herself into a pretzel, making plates for men who were not hers? Do y'all remember that? And Kayla was like, you can't be on the show wanting a man, acting like you don't need a man. It's like, yeah, you can. Want and need are two different words. They mean two different things. Okay? You can want a man and still not need one. Yeah, you can. It's a real thing. It's a real thing, girl. All right. So Justice and Lumi seem to be building a bond. She's his strongest connection. Child, we don't know when that happened. We just know that it did happen. Okay. She feels like people are being competitive. Okay, wait, no, Swayze. I'm sorry, I'm skipping something. Swayze and Shakira talk. She feels like people are being competitive in a nasty way, putting her info out there. And Swayze feels like she may not be ready for this process. I feel like we have all kind of come to the conclusion that Miss Girl and her fake flowers are not ready for love. She needs to go ahead and heal some more. I think she needs to meet a man in an organic way. I also feel like she needs to be in therapy. I hope she's in therapy consistently. And I hope that's not perceived as shade, because bitch, I'm in therapy consistently. Okay, I have a therapy session today that I'm telling myself I will not forget about just because Lyric came home early. Okay, which is something I've done. But I just kind of feel like she needs to be in therapy dealing with her issues, because a lot of women who have been subject to abuse still hold on to some of the ideals of their abuser. And what that means to me is that she was so quick to make adversaries out of the women and make the men protectors when everybody was having conversations. Everybody was having conversations about whatever she had told them, because she had not only said it to the women, she had also said it to some of the men. I believe she specifically had a conversation, I believe, with LJ, Randall. I don't know about LJ, but I definitely feel like she had a conversation with Randall and Samson. I believe so too. And y'all see how Samson is kind of faded into the background. I believe it's because people are finding out that Samson is um projecting something, but there's something weird going on under the surface. Their emotions on this show, you have to look at them, because you see so many men that don't know how to control their emotions when they get into arguments with the women, i.e. Zoe, Mike, Justice, kind of don't know how to handle themselves when they get into arguments or disagreements with these women, right? But people like Samson, people like Randall, people like LJ, people like Swayze, Samson, you have to pay attention to why they're not like the other men. And I know that sounds messed up, but you have to, because I feel like LJ might be the only one that is not like dangerously problematic. I feel like LJ at most is a player type man. But still, if a woman don't want him, he's not going to take offense. He's not going to berate you. He's not going to badmouth you to everybody. It's just, it is what it is. He's going to move on to the next pretty lady that he can get. Okay. LJ gives me that vibe. Swayze, everybody likes Swayze, but I told y'all something was weird about the mustache and all of that. I know he's a firefighter, but something's weird. And now next week we're gonna find out that he's only dated white women, but you're on a black ass show catered towards black women. Yeah, that's problematic to me. Randall, we haven't seen or heard a lot from Randall like that. Not really. So I really don't know what to. But Samson, and the way he needed a woman to know what struggle was, and constantly bringing up the story about his parents and what his mom did. I don't like the way he presents himself, because he seems to have a fixation on making sure a woman can handle a lot. And if a man has a fixation on a woman being able to handle a lot, it means he's probably going to put her through the fucking ringer. Okay. And so that's how I have grown to see Samson. Mike is a specific crazy type dude to me, because people think that Mike isn't crazy. Like, everybody talks to Mike like Mike is this cool, nice guy. But every time I hear Mike have conversations, his conversations usually put the woman on defense in some way. Okay, so let me dive. All right, so Brandy goes out with Samson. Brandy says she never had a real relationship with any man, and the men that she has been in relationships with or has sexual relationships with, I'm guessing, have not been genuine, which means that they only wanted to have sex with her. She says that she will meet men more than halfway, but she needs reciprocation. And and that's what I recognized about Brandy. There are a lot of these women that I recognize are willfully going into relationships with men that they do not know, telling them shit like, I will go more than halfway. Why would you do that? You're a human being in a relationship. Why will you go more than halfway for this man, and this man won't go halfway for you? You have to think about that. That's not healthy for you to automatically say to a man that you will go more than halfway. It just has to be reciprocated, because what you don't understand is going more than halfway means there is an imbalance. Therefore, it's probably not being reciprocated. You're not thinking about this logically. You're not. You're thinking about it under the social standards that we live under, that tell black women that they should have to deal with all types of bullshit in order to have a little bitty piece of man. Okay? That's what you're thinking about. And that's where your mind and your emotions are when you're on a date with a man and you're not even really that interested in him, but you're telling him that you will meet a man more than halfway, just as long as it's reciprocated. As if you don't understand that him not going halfway means that's not reciprocal. It's not reciprocity. Samson talks about his Colombian girlfriend that made it so easy for him to be vulnerable. And I wanted to know how it was that she made it easy for him to be vulnerable. What did that mean? Like, what does that look like for him? I would like an explanation for how his Colombian girlfriend made the relationship they were in a space for him to be vulnerable. What does that look like for him? That's what I want to know from that conversation. Mike goes to see Kayla, who he calls a music video fantasy. He says Brandy is like his biggest connection, but he sees Kayla as some music video fantasy. Why do you see Kayla as a music video fantasy, and what does that mean? Kayla says Mike has his hands full with Brandy. Kayla always likes the men to feel like she's a little jealous. She does that a lot. They flirt a lot. She puts her ass in his face while they're playing pool. He asks her about Randall. She says that he says that she better watch out for Jamala. That she said she didn't like the fact that he brought up her connection with Randall. Like, I'm talking to you, I'm here with you. How about you focus on us? And I don't need to worry about anything as far as Jamala is concerned. Kayla really likes doing bets with the men about if they win something, then they get a kiss on the cheek or some stupid shit. I feel like I don't know why she does that, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I think. I think Kayla does a lot of ditzy things so that she can seem as feminine as women who are less smart and women who are lighter complected. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I feel like a lot of darker or brown skinned women know that they are perceived as masculine automatically. So they do a lot of things to make themselves look like the sex bunny damsel in distress. That's what I think the role Kayla plays for men on this show. I don't know if it doesn't feel like that's what she really is. Her tone feels no nonsense like a motherfucker. On this show, yeah, placing bets for kisses. Like, it's very, very ditzy, blonde. Oh my God, I need a man. Damn trust. Oh, I need the comfort of a man. Like, that's weird to me that that she keeps doing that. It's not the first time she's done that, and I don't think that she should be doing that with those men. And it's not because I feel like it lessens her value or anything. It's because I feel like, girl, you shouldn't even be trying to give those niggas all of that attention. They win something, so you give them a kiss on the cheek. I don't need no. I don't have to have any type of physical contact with you because you won a sport or you won a game. I understand the point that she's trying to make by doing so, but look how it turned around and bit her in the ass. Because Mike then turns around and tells her, after playing pool with her and winning, no, she won. Didn't she win? Yeah, she won the game of pool. And he turned around and told her that he didn't know if he wanted to kiss her because she'd already kissed Zoe and Randall. I don't want those other guys' lips on me. So I don't know if I really want the kiss. And that's what I mean by making the women feel insecure. You are on a dating show. You are also a 40-something-year-old man. So you've been with a lot of women, and any woman that you are with at this point in your life that is close to your age is going to have been with other men before you. So the idea that you don't want to kiss her because she's kissed other men is ridiculous to me. It's nonsense, and I don't like it. I don't like what that projects, that a woman's value goes down because she's had experiences with other men, when really you don't want to have to compete. So you want the woman to feel bad about making you compete for her. That's what that was. I don't like the fact that I have competition in Randall. So instead of stepping my game up, I'm going to make the woman feel like she's less valuable because I have competition. That's what that tells to me. Because essentially, kissing that woman on the cheek or her kissing you on the cheek, what is that going to do to you exactly? I'm more than sure everybody's getting tested to be on this show since we're in a pandemic. And outside of that, anything that you could catch, like monkeypox, you can catch from touching her, not just from kissing her. So that's bullshit to me. Like, that's bullshit to me. You're literally on this show knowing that the women that you date are going to be dating other men and that you're going to be dating other women. But you're going to act like, oh, you don't want to kiss her because she kissed the other men during this process on the cheek. She didn't even kiss any of them on the mouth. Every kiss Kayla gave was on the cheek that we saw. Like, I don't understand how they go up for Mike. I don't. The fact that she didn't leave when he said that to her told me all I needed to know about Kayla. Right. Like, she laughed it off. And that's what's so perplexing to me, is that this man kind of called you like basically acted like you had cooties, or acted like you were nasty because you had kissed two men on the cheek. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Mike wanted to make her feel nasty. It was a way for him to regain control and demean her. Yes, C. Graham. And that's what I said. All of Mike's interactions with the women are to make the women feel less than, or put them on the defense so they feel like they have something to prove to him. If y'all watch my reviews for this whole season, every episode when Mike has had an interaction, I have peeped one moment or another, sometimes more than one, where all of his interactions with the women are to make the women feel like they have to defend themselves. Prove you're not crazy. Prove there's not something wrong with you, Brandy. Since you don't have a man, I need you to prove to me that nothing's wrong with you since you don't have a man. Oh, you don't have kids? Something's wrong with you, Sharice. Because you don't want to be with a man who has children and an ex-wife. Something's wrong with you because you don't have any kids. Now, why you can't just respect that she doesn't want that and move on to a woman that doesn't mind it? Mike criticized Kadeem for eating ribs. Also, Sharice, yes, yeah, she's eating. That's bothersome. A woman can't fucking eat without you making it an issue. But you can be sitting up there with your Beijing bleeding all over the place from your beard and your hair and everything, leaking all over the fucking place. Do y'all see what I mean when I tell things show how insecure they are? Because men that are secure in themselves don't feel the need to do things like color their fucking beards and shit, especially not men of their age, maybe young men, maybe 20 somethings, but men of like 40, 30, 34, 35, 45, those types of age ranges. We don't come from an era where men color their hair. So for y'all to be doing that, something that's not socially required of you, like, it's not even required of you niggas to be in shape. Like, there's literally no physical requirement for men the way there is for women. And these men go around coloring their hair because they feel insecure about something. So no, if they feel that insecure about their gray hair, they're going to be insecure about the way they handle you in the relationship. That's what that equals to me. And no, I don't think it's the same thing when women color their hair. I don't. Because ageism has always affected women more than men. They will make it so that a woman can't get a job at a certain age before they make it that a man can't get a job at a certain age. So yeah, no, I don't want to hear those things. Who, girl? Who? Y'all talking in the comments? Who? Am I missing something? I like Samson. He seems very intentional. Okay, he's color, other ethnicity obsessed. His self-proclaimed desire for a woman used to struggle is problematic, and I don't believe he applies that criteria for non-black women. Ooh, come on, clock. Come on, clock. Be right, okay? He wants women to feel unsure of how he feels about them. He was probably held to be married to. I asked my husband to color his hair, but he won't. Child, leave that damn man alone. Trolling. Leave that damn man alone. Let him be secure in himself. And honestly, y'all, I don't think there's like, I told Lyric, you can do whatever you want to do, baby, but I don't need for you to do that. Like, I don't think that's like, ooh, he colored his hair. Like, no, I'm not. That's not, no. I like when men are well groomed. Go get your nails done, get your feet done, get facials, get massages, get body wraps, make sure your skin's smooth. You know what I'm saying? Go to a dermatologist, make sure your teeth nice, all that shit. Smell good, make sure your hair moisturized, all that shit. That is not the same thing as you actively going down to the nigga like, yeah, make all this shit jet black. That shit crazy. I like salt and pepper personally. Me personally, I like salt and pepper. I think it looks really good. And honestly, I don't mind dark on top, but the beard is the thing that kills me because I feel like your hair is on your head. People are used to coloring their hair on their head. But once you take it to the hair on your beard, which is on your face, that means you putting that color on your skin. You putting that color on your face. And as a person that has, sensitive skin, y'all, as a person that will break out like this, anytime I see somebody doing something extra to their skin that can break them out, I'm like, why would you do that? So putting shoe polish on your face and in your beard is a no for me. For me. For me. Do what you want to do. I don't think it should be illegal for you to do it, but I also feel like it's indicative of you being insecure about yourself in a way that is probably deeper than I'm willing to deal with. That's how I feel. That's what I'm talking about, Bondy. On his head, it will make his hair look thicker. Okay, got you. Yeah, no, I'm not as upset about your hair on top as I am about the beard. I'm like, please don't put. And then for me, that's what I think about. A lot of men who get that done, they don't want to look old. And it's like, but nigga, you still look old. The gray hair isn't doing what you think it's doing. It isn't doing what you, and to me, I feel like if you so worried about looking old, how about you go work out? How about you go work out if you so worried about looking old? Because a lot of y'all, that music video fantasy comment was disrespectful. I wanted to know what he meant by it because I also found it to be rather perplexing because I think it's Kayla Booty. Oh, okay. So he perceives her as like a video model girl because she's sexy and attractive, which means that he likes looking at her, but that means he's going to find a way to disrespect or devalue her and then say it was because she looked a certain way, right? Yeah. That's why I don't like y'all with telling people how to dress and what to wear, because all it means is that you feel like a person doesn't respect themselves. So that means you can disrespect them, which is insane. Just because you feel like a person doesn't respect themselves doesn't mean you disrespecting them, doesn't also mean that you don't respect. Okay, y'all try, but y'all won't do this on me. Okay. Kayla, they proceed, kiss my cheek. Okay. Samson, Sharice, Swayze, Kadeen, and Trinika go skating. Samson and Sharice are definitely feeling each other physically, and it's growing. Kadeen asked Swayze what he likes about her. He likes her personality, how she looks, and how she's always eating, to which she tried to find offense. And I was just kind of like, why did you have to mention that she's always eating? He was like, I like a woman that eats. Yeah, but everybody eats. Everybody eats. Don't tell me that you like the fact that I consume food. We all consume food. That means that you were really trying to either shade me or you were looking for something to say you like me because you couldn't think of anything deeper than that. So I wouldn't trust Swayze's connection with Kadeen either. He likes her personality. He feels able to be himself around her. That's usually because if she likes you and you're not combative like Mike, she'll probably, or Justice, she'll deal with you. I'm gonna say Justice, not Mike. Kadeen is one of those, I'm sorry, but Kadeen gives slight pick me. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that she will ignore empathy so that she can be on the side of a man. She will ignore, sense in some moments so that she can be on the side of a man. I think she displayed that to us when Zoe and Sharice had their back and forth, and she showed up to speak for Zoe as if that was necessary or something. Zoe handled that woman aggressively for no reason other than the fact that his feelings were hurt. I don't care what she said. He handled her wrong, and you showed up to defend him when he didn't even show up to defend himself. Yeah, Kadeen, it's giving pick me, baby. That's what it's giving. And you did that with Mike as well. That's what it's giving to me. So yeah, I feel like I can't trust Kadeen's interactions with Swayze because I think that Swayze is trying to play it safe because he really doesn't like black women. Maybe. We'll wait and see. Maybe. I'm not too sure yet. But it seems as if he's playing it safe by being with a woman who he knows is strongly into him. Doesn't mean that he's really into her like that. So we'll see. Okay. Um, sorry, y'all. That's the Discord. Everybody in the Discord. Everyone comes together. The men did good coming up with romantic dates, which I did think was cool that Tommy tasked the men with taking the women out on, romantic dates, because I think that was much needed. I think that was, y'all can still hear me, right? I had to mute because that's working on my nerves. But yeah, I feel like I like that because a lot of men have a hard time with putting together nice dates for women. I don't know what that's about, but we appreciate the effort for y'all to figure out little cute things to do besides going out to eat. So everyone comes together. The men did good. Tommy wants everyone to lay it all out on the table how they feel. I usually don't like when they do this because I feel like everyone lays things out on the table, but nothing is ever like resolved. It's just messy for the sake of mess. And then Tommy smiles and says, all right, let's move on. And I just kind of feel like, so what do we do this for exactly? So everybody can get some nasty shit off their chest that they would have got off their chest anyway? I guess, child. Jamala says Randall is playing the field, and that's fine, but she would like for him to say what it is. And I was like, Jamala, it's too soon, calm down. And then she asked, what's up with Shakira, because she thought she and Shakira were good, but she just wanted to make sure because her energy is off. Shakira thanks the men for, handling her with such care, but calls out the women for betraying her. And it's not that I disagree with that, but I also feel like the men have been talking about you too, bitch. I know you probably don't know that they've been talking about you, but the men have been talking about you too. Like, they absolutely had been talking about you. It wasn't just the women. And you didn't just tell the women, you told the men as well. So when everybody started talking about, the way Kadeen used it in that moment, I didn't like that, because I know they edited some things out in that moment, but I also feel like Kadeen is one of the main women that are being underhandedly nasty with the way she is competing for these men. Okay? That interaction that they had at the table with Mike, it felt like she was trying to placate Mike's feelings in his disagreement with Sharice. Now, they were supposed to have made review. I said I didn't like the fact that he apologized, but there was, what are you apologizing for? It seemed like he was apologizing just because he didn't want to continue to have beef with one of the women, but not because he actually saw that he had said or did anything wrong in the moment. And I felt that, that's why he could have kept his old shitty ass apology. And then he went to those other women and then they wooed him and told him that it was, you have to be careful about women like Sharice because they'll pretend like you did them something when you really didn't. That's what Kadeen was saying. And so when Shakira got up to walk away because the conversation probably made her feel uncomfortable, as a woman who has been abused, you don't want to hear another woman telling a man who comes off a little aggressive, okay, in his mannerisms and the way he goes at women. It may not be physically aggressive, but mentally and emotionally, he is aggressive, okay? Because he makes the women feel like they need to be on a defense, because he makes the women feel like they need to defend themselves to him. If you make me feel like I have to defend myself, you're coming at me in an aggressive way. It might be passive aggressive, but it is aggressive nonetheless, okay? So I feel like the way Kadeen handle Shakira in the moment is that, because Shakira is getting up to walk away, this might be a little sensitive for her because she's been abused. But that's not you, Mike. That's not what's going on with you. To me, that's what happened in that moment, which is why Shakira was getting up to walk away, because she didn't like the way Kadeen and them were making it seem like, you have to watch women like Sharice who will make something out of nothing. Because to a woman who's been abused, you don't like to hear that. Because people have probably made it seem like you were doing that when you were getting your ass beat. So I feel like that's what happened in that moment, which is why I feel like Kadeen ain't shit. You are pick me. And that was the moment I figured it out. Okay. Now we fast forward to this moment, and I feel like Shakira is still trying to make it seem like the men handled her better than the women did, when essentially, no, they did not. They had the same conversations the women had. It's just that they're not in competition with you. Kadeen is, okay? So yeah, I felt like Shakira needed to go because if you could not have that information disseminated amongst all of the cast, then you should not have told it to anyone, first of all. And if you were not healed from it, you shouldn't have come on this show. Period. Okay. When they try to have that moment, and Kadeen is like, so wait, is she talking about me? And Shakira is like, well, yeah, am I talking about you? And I felt like Shakira, don't be a child. Say you're talking to her. Like, address her. As soon as she raised her hand and asked if it was her, I would have been like, yes, Kadeen, I am speaking of you. Okay? It was bothersome the way you sprayed my information in the tone in which you used it. It did make me feel like you were trying to undermine my feelings by using my abuse against me, which is something I shared in a vulnerable moment. And you used it against me. Okay. So yeah, no, I absolutely, because Mike was like, no, don't get up. Mike was telling Shakira not to get up. I think Kadeen was bothered by that because Kadeen is probably in her head like, I'm over here coaxing your ego. Why do you give a fuck if she gets up to walk away? I'm over here with my hands on you, telling you that Sharice doesn't understand a man like you, and you're worrying about whether Shakira is getting up to walk away, Shakira, whatever, whether she's getting up to walk away or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and slightly shade her because I'm an old nasty ass bitch. I'm sorry, but you got like a nasty disposition on the inside when you'll take somebody's information like that to use it against them that quick because a man was giving them the attention and not you. And I know I could be wrong, but I'm probably not. Moving on from there, Shakira started to cry because Kadeen was like, I was trying to respect your situation and I was trying to protect you. And Shakira was like, girl, you are not about to act like you were trying to protect me in that moment because you absolutely were not. And I agree with Shakira, but I'm gonna need for her not to always be crying. And I also thought that it was so funny that the only person that felt like y'all needed to stop because Shakira was getting emotional was Sharice. The one who they act like is so unemotional and so cold, Sharice was the only person that I heard say, maybe we don't need to rehash this. Maybe we need to let this go because she can see that Shakira was starting to cry. So she was like, we don't need to, we don't need to rehash this. And Kadeen was like, bitch, bye. And I'm like, Kadeen, even though I understand where you're coming from, because I feel like you felt like Shakira was using her tears as a weapon against you. You know, the same way you felt like case with every woman. I know there are women that do that, but that's not the case all the time, Kadeen. It's not. A lot of these men do things to make women like that, to make them cry. Okay. And just because you're hardened and you've put up walls and boundaries around yourself and put your mind in a fucking box so that you can deal with the shit that you deal with from men just so you can have a little bitty piece of man because it's better than having no man at all. So you're going to take what you got and just work with it. Just because that's what you on does not mean everybody needs to subscribe to that same type of mindset. So a little bit of empathy could have been given to Shakira. Like, I get it. You feel like she's using it so everybody can give her attention. I get it. But at the same time, it makes you look nasty that you have that much I don't give a fuck when this woman has obviously been abused deeply. And a lot of her needing attention or needing people to come and support her probably comes from all the abuse and now needing to counteract how in a negative she is of support. But you don't want to think about it like that, right? Because we're in a dating situation. This is the process. This is the show. So I can be callous and not be empathetic towards another woman because all I care about in this process is getting one of these greasy ass niggas to pick me. Okay. Child, what the world need now is love, sweet love. Everyone goes back and forth. Mike and his interaction with Kayla was so weird. Somebody comment and let me know. Am I the only one watching the interaction between Mike and Kayla that was like, what's the entire, like, what the is going on right now? What the is going on right now? Okay. Oh, come on, Crystal, for saying Kadeen is sliding under the radar. She is. Um, that's why I think it's so funny that I see her tactics, her pick me tactics. Okay. But yeah, so when Kayla wanted to express how she felt to Mike, he was like, I want to stand up. I want to stand up. I want you to look me in my eye while you telling me what you telling me. And it was very uncomfortable. Brandy felt a way about it, and I didn't understand what the point of it was. It felt like he was trying to intimidate her, and I wasn't sure if he thought it was going to work. I wasn't sure what the other men were thinking watching it. Like, Tommy, like, what did y'all think about that interaction? Because that was very weird to me. Um, Mike wants to stand up with Kayla, and he tells her to look into his eyes. She says he wants her to show him effort, but he doesn't want to show her effort. And to me, I feel like a lot of the women on this show, their complaint with these men is that these men want the women to chase them. And I think Mike is looking for a woman that's going to chase him. To me, that's what it looks like. Y'all aren't looking for, y'all act like y'all are looking for these, like, appeasing, submissive, beautiful, meek, gentle women, so that y'all can be in these nurturing relationships with these women that are so feminine and so nurturing to you, and so that you can love them back. This is what y'all tell yourselves and other people. But the truth of the matter is, you are looking for the woman that is the most malleable, so that you can get away with causing the most amount of havoc without any repercussions, least amount of responsibility to those repercussions. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, so it feels like you want these women to chase you so that you don't have to put forth a lot of effort to get them, because you're lazy. You're lazy, and you want these women to chase you and come after you so you don't have to put forward any effort, so you don't have to put in any work. That's what it feels like to me. And that way, whenever you cheat on these women or get bored with them and go find another woman, you'll be able to say that the woman is the one that forced you into the relationship, or that you weren't really ready for it and she made you. You'll try to make it seem like in some way you cheating or fucking over her was a byproduct of her forcing this relationship, even though you're playing a game with her that makes her chase you, and you not put forth the same amount of effort, even though you do want her to chase you. It's not like you don't want to be bothered with her and she's just coming after you. You want her to chase you. And so she does. And then eventually you'll use it against her as the reason for why the relationship turns out however it will. I can definitely see him telling Brandy she was trying to force something that he didn't really want to happen, after he been out there feeding her fruit that looked like balls and shit in the park. Child, I guess going after Lumi and Trinika, so that should be interesting. LJ will win. LJ will win because LJ is the opposite of Justice. Justice is like, I think I'll be okay. Oh, you do? You do? You think you'll be okay? I think if the women have, this is the only way you'll be okay. The only way you'll be okay is if Lumi and Trinika, one of them, decide they care more about staying on the show than being with someone who actually likes them. Because what'll happen is they'll wait for LJ to choose one of them, because LJ is the better guy. He's gonna take you out on a date. He's gonna dance. He's gonna work out. He's gonna do whatever. He's a fun guy. He's gonna go with the flow. He's not gonna make you feel like shit, and he's not going to penny pinch a meal. Okay. So, in my opinion, Trinika and Lumi will ultimately choose LJ over Justice. So that will leave LJ with having to choose between Lumi and Trinika. Whoever LJ ends up choosing, the other woman will then choose Justice by product of not wanting to get kicked off the show. So that's the only reason you're going to be okay. Not because you're actually in any way competition to LJ. Because if we're looking at the stats on paper, you're not competing with LJ at all. Like, you're literally not competing with LJ. You're not even trying. LJ is the only man that I hear talks to all of the women. He texts, he hit them up, how you doing? Have good conversations. He take you out on a good date. He's a good time. He's not trying to make the women be on defense. He's not trying to make the women feel like they need to defend themselves or prove something to him. He's just there to experience them and have a good time. That also can translate to a player-like mentality, absolutely. And that's why I want women to be careful of LJ, because it feels like the only reason you're this good at handling all these women is because you're used to handling a lot of women, which means you're probably a player, which means those women will think that you're more serious than you really are. And that's my problem. Beyond that, I like the way LJ interacts with the women. I like the way he's intentional. I like his conversation. I like his energy. I would choose LJ out of all of these men simply because LJ knows how to treat a lady. No, he can't sing. He can't sing. But I don't need him to sing. Cha-cha slide with me, baby. Take me out on a date and cha-cha slide with me. Let's giggle and have a good time. Okay? But that goes to show you the slim pickings, because LJ is not no perfect man or nothing like that. But just the fact that he's not so confrontational. That's what it is. To me, LJ is not confrontational. A lot of these men on this show are confrontational, or they're so charismatic it comes off as manipulation, i.e., Samson. I'm sorry, y'all. Samson comes off like a master manipulator in my mind. It's something here. Something here. Okay. But Sharice is pissing folks off. I told y'all that. So she's on the bottom for the third time. They say Shakira needs to heal, so she ends up going home. LJ handled the eliminations like a pro. He articulated himself well. And honestly, I feel like LJ gonna be one of them dudes that's gonna end up being like a, somebody that does hosting or something like that, because he knows how to talk and handle himself, in very uncomfortable social situations, which I feel like is a definite plus for a man to be able to not only adequately communicate, but not to come off, as if he's butthurt or has a chip on his shoulder. That's, like LJ just don't act like he got a chip on his shoulder. And a lot of these men, that's what they act like. They act like they got, they butthurt about something. When the truth that, like, I saw something on, y'all, the things I see online sometimes, and people be laughing thinking the shit is funny, and I think it's weird as fuck. We're about to move on. But I saw something online where this guy was like, he got cheated on by what the neighbor was saying. My neighbor, his girlfriend cheated on him. So she went on a trip with her girlfriends. He's going to move out of their apartment while she's gone. She's not on a lease. So he's moving out of the apartment while she's gone. And he's going to send all her stuff, like literally packed up all of his girl stuff and sent it to Goodwill. And everybody was in the comments cheering and laughing like that was so cool because that's what she get for cheating. And I'm like, y'all, that's crazy as hell that y'all, so many people go along with these types of toxic like things. Like, that's insane. I think that's insane. As somebody that has lost everything in my life, that is insane for you to think getting cheated on in your little raggedy ass boyfriend girlfriend relationship is cool for you to send all of someone's belongings, all of their things to Goodwill to be sold and given away to fucking strangers. Probably things you can't replace, things your family or grandmother's dead relatives then gave you, and this nigga packed it all in a box and sent this to Goodwill because he got cheated on. And the funny part about it is, I'm not going to add nothing extra on it. You should leave. You should break up with her. If you wanted to leave and move out while she was gone and left all her shit there in the apartment, I wouldn't have felt no ways about that. If you wanted to get up and leave her, sir, you are entitled to do that. But the fact that you would spend all of that time to pack that lady shit up and send it to Goodwill, and then all of the people in the comments were laughing like that shit was cool. And I guess because I'm a person that has lost everything, I was like, that shit not funny to me. I saw that and thought it was sad. Just leave her. Why do all that? Like, that's not funny to me. And people was like, petty king. I saw another post this morning. Yanni, I'm sure you probably saw this one too. The guy who said he became his girlfriend left him because he wouldn't work a 9 to 5. And so he became a judge and arrested her. I'm sure it was a skit, y'all. It wasn't this one wasn't real. The other one read like it actually happened. This one was a skit, but it's still the same thing. Okay, it's still the same thing where men are like allowed to have, well, people period, I think, not just men, but people period are allowed to have these extreme reactions to shit, and everybody acts like it's reasonable, and it's not. It's not reasonable. You getting mad because somebody don't want to be with you anymore, so you then become a judge so that you can have them arrested. Y'all are weird as fuck. Just like, why you can't have it in your mind that if a relationship didn't work out and a woman didn't want to be with you anymore, y'all just weren't meant to be together. And so you move on to the next woman and she moves on to the next man. Why does a person not wanting to be with you anymore? Why does that mean that you then get to try to destroy them in some way? That's weird as fuck to me. That's weird, y'all. And niggas be online cheering that shit on like it's regular. And I'm like, something's wrong with y'all. I honestly believe if it was a woman that did that to her cheating boyfriend, I think it would be praised and she would be hyped up, but he deserves to be sued, to be honest. Ebony, I saw a lot of people saying that. I saw lots of people saying that. And you know what's so bothersome to me? Where's the woman doing it? Show me the woman. Show me the woman and we'll deal with that. Right now, we're dealing with this nigga doing it. And I don't care. I think that would be too much for anybody, y'all. Now, if you put that shit outside, I don't care about that. I don't care about you throwing that shit outside your house. But to send their shit to Goodwill so that their shit can get taken and they can never get it back again, I don't think that's okay. Whether a man is doing it or a woman is doing, I don't think that women should get praised for those types of things. I think if a man cheats on you, you should leave him. That's what I think. If a man cheats on you, you should leave. Do I think you need to burn down? No. Do I think you should? No. I'm not that type of person. So you won't get that reaction out of me. I'm going to feel that way either way. I feel like y'all care way too much about shit y'all know be going on. Y'all know these niggas gonna cheat on y'all. Some of you niggas know these women gonna cheat on y'all. Some of these niggas are some of the women are cheating back. And that was another thing somebody said in the comments. Y'all in here saying that this shit cool, like it's not a possibility that she could have been cheating back on his ass. Right. People use the words petty that's interchangeable for evil because that's what that is. Evil, not petty. I saw that post this morning and I think he did too much. Just leave her alone. Like, honestly, I hope that she sues. I hope that somebody was like, and she won't win. I'm like, she won't. He literally took all of her stuff without her knowledge and sent it to Goodwill. How is that not? How is that not illegal? Like what? So a lot of y'all saw that post? I know y'all did because Spiritual Word is one of the most toxic fucking Instagram pages in life. That's why they're so followed. That's so well followed. Child, I'm sure if I was more toxic, I'd have more followers too. Just start posting all kind of ignorant shit. So yeah, y'all. With that being said, let's move on to other ignorant shit, which is the Belle Collective, girl. Very ignorant shit. But before I do, I need y'all to do something for me now. Baby Trisha, this is funny because the post is the proof. The post is the proof. The fucking neighbor. The neighbor that posted it on social media. They could just use the social media post. I'm sure, I am so sure that social media post could be used to prove that he did that shit. That's bad funny to me. He'll be like, I need proof. We put it on social media. That's the proof. But let's go ahead and get into Belle Collective, y'all. I appreciate y'all for the conversation. It be too much stuff going on social media that I just find so toxic. She doesn't need proof. He said it. What? They took pictures. They had pictures of her stuff outside the apartment. The people was like, not the tree. Not the Christmas tree. Oh, she will win. Child, why did my dude just say he feels like he's in a relationship with you too? He said he hears your voice just as much as mine. That's too funny. I appreciate y'all that watch me that much. I do. Exactly. The post is proof. Folks don't know how to do anything in the dark anymore. Who said that? Damn, miss a minute, miss a lifetime. I don't know what you missed. But let's get into Belle Collective, y'all. Okay. Hold up. A lady on TikTok found out her man was on a vacation without her, so she booked a flight for herself and her friend to the same location. She paid for it with his money. I still would just leave, but I'm not mad at it. Like, he's still gonna go back to all his shit millionaire. So, like, if he had the money to spend on a trip, he'll be all right. That's tough. That's why you can't never let nobody have access to your accounts like that. That was his mistake. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. I still feel like it's fucked up. I feel like, all of that. I'm not a like, y'all, I've learned in life, like, I'm not a revenge person. Life does revenge for me. Life does revenge for me. I ain't gotta get back at you. Everybody that done dogged me out or cheated on me, I feel like in one moment or another have either come back to me or my life has been so impressive that I know you feel away. Like, low key, my overall success period is my catch back to a lot of y'all. So I don't need to catch back because the Lord will do it for me. Okay, that's how I feel. Anyway, y'all not me smearing my glasses because my lashes don't want to let me be great. So y'all, Tambra, I don't think I react on that level because karma is real. And that's how I am. I think I'm always thinking about if I do this, then what's the person's reaction going to be? What they going to do to me? I think beyond this first step. So I'm not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing all that. Like, fuck all that. Like, you do me wrong, I'm out. I'm going to just, because my presence is a present, kiss my ass. Okay? That's how I feel. Kanye ain't never said more true words than my presence is a present, kiss my ass. Okay? So, I'm gonna just remove myself. I'm gonna be like Blue. And with that being said, I'm gonna fall back. You know what I'm saying? I won't do it, but I like to watch y'all do it. Listen, between life and karma, I don't have time for revenge. Those two things hit harder than anything a person can do. God got me. That's how I feel. And I felt like that for a very long time. And much of my relationships have shown me that's true. So I don't need to sweat you. I don't need to worry about none of that. The law gonna get you together. All right. Life gonna teach you better than I can tell you. Okay. So yes, y'all, Belle Collective. All right. So Tambra asked Demond about the decorator and him having an emotional connection with her. Child. The producer asked Demond about the decorator. And he says, next question. So you're really not going to answer this at all? And see, to me, whenever a man asks as if something is too stupid for them to answer, it's usually because it's true. So him not answering was basically, yeah, whatever that girl said, she telling the truth. Demond tells Tambra that he's just too friendly. You know what I'm saying? That's his problem. He's just too friendly. But as far as, nah, I don't do drama. I don't do drama. And I was just like, you a nigga. Of course you do drama. Of course you do drama. You a nigga. What you talking about? What you talking about? Your whole life tell me that you involved in some type of drama, Demond. Okay? I don't care what you're talking about. They got nicknames for you out in these streets. Of course you're into some foolishness. What are you talking about? Tambra says she told Letitia he doesn't. I can tell you 1, 2, and 3 that he doesn't have an emotional connection with her. I've heard their conversations. I've seen their text messages. And I know, just if you like my man secretly, just say that. And I'm just like, Tambra. You know what I don't like, y'all? I don't like when age doesn't teach women not to ever trust men to this degree. Don't ever trust no nigga to this degree. I have told y'all time and time again that I don't believe, my husband will ever do me the way I've seen people get done. And I say that because I feel like I know him as a person, but I also feel like there's a level of which I know for 1 and for 2, he wouldn't. Like, I'm not going through all that, child. That ain't to my knowledge. That ain't mine. Okay, that ain't how we roll over here. So I know I ain't got to worry about that. But I might have to worry about this, but I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You'll have conversations like that. But the way Tambra was going to bat for Demond, first of all, Demond has not married you. Demond and yours relationship doesn't seem like it's actually happening. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but y'all don't seem to be that into each other, or he don't seem to be that into you. Girl, I don't know which one it is, but it doesn't feel like it's being reciprocated. Whatever is going on, I don't know. It just feels like Demond does not want his connection with you to be fucked up, but that does not mean that he's not doing something with other women. I feel like there's almost an understanding that Demond is probably screwing, seeing, or what have you with other women. So as Tambra sits here telling us what she knows for a fact is not happening, I'm just kind of like, Tambra, why are you playing yourself like this? Because I feel like as a woman who has not been married, you haven't had kids, y'all, I really be wishing and hoping and praying that when women are by themselves for this amount of time, they grow to have understanding of men and of themselves in a way that they don't allow men to bullshit them so easily. But what I am starting to notice with Tambra is maybe Tambra, her not having, relationships, and well, no, I'm not gonna say she's had relationships, but y'all know what I mean. Not being married, not having any children, and focusing on her career doesn't mean she's been focusing on herself in relation to men that much. It probably means that she's been church shamed into having her life set up a certain way. Do you know what I mean? Where people allow their families and they allow church and religion to dictate how they live their lives, but it doesn't mean that they're any smarter in the way they deal by the time they get to a certain age. You see what I'm saying? Am I making sense, y'all? Because I feel like at Tambra's age, these conversations with Demond shouldn't be happening in this way, because it feels like he's lying to her, and it feels like she's ready to accept and disseminate the lie. Even if it makes her look crazy, she's willing to go along with Demond's bullshit. And I would have felt like a woman that has been working on herself and her career and choosing herself all these years would be smarter than that. But it comes across like the reason why you're not as smart is I'm expecting you to be as it pertains to your relationship. And what I'm seeing between you and Demond is because you have that church girl family factor that stops you from seeing things clearly. That's no disrespect. Y'all gonna get mad at me for saying that, but there are a lot of church women specifically that have blinders on to the way men are and the way men can be. And they really believe that God is sending them some perfect man. Therefore, they can close their eyes and not see what's in front of them. They can totally ignore red flags and signs that they're being abused or misused or lied to or manipulated. Ignore all of that, because God told me he was going to send me this man, and I waited all this time, and I was loyal and I was faithful. So God sent me this man. So that means when this man is showcasing himself to be problematic, showing himself to be untrustworthy, I'm going to ignore it because God told me he was going to send me this man. When really, God didn't tell you that. God didn't say that shit. That's what you're telling yourself. And you're saying that's what God said. Thank you for the super chat, Pamela. Nickname Greedy. That alone is suspicious to me. Exactly. Greedy for what? The fact that Demond has been single for this amount of time is a red flag to me. Usually when a man has been single for this long, it means that he does not want to be in a committed relationship with anyone, because he has a lot of women that he likes to juggle. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get on this show and pretend as if you want marriage and children with Tambra when you really want to continue to be out here laying it low and spreading it wide. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have to finish watching Hung for Jesus. I started it and fell asleep, so I have to watch the end. But I thought it was hilarious. And I thought it was a perfect example of the way, church people have this cognitive dissonance. They ignore fact. They ignore, what's right in front of them. They ignore all logic and what makes sense so that they can fit into this crazed everything for God and this for God and you can't save them all. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't care. It's cool. So Glenn followed Tisha. Y'all, Glendale following Letitia around Jackson, Mississippi out of protection, or because he worried that she cheating on him because he was cheating on her. Yeah, it does feel like it's based off of Eddie Long. When I was watching, I said, oh yeah, this must be based off Eddie Long. Okay. But yes, y'all, Letitia and Glenn, let's talk about it. First of all, that makes y'all remember when we first started this show and I questioned what Glenn did for a living? Because yeah, it seemed like you might work out, you work on the barge or you work out on the water or you work on the oil rig and you're gone for a little while and all of that, but y'all driving around in Porsches and challenges that's decked out and got a lot of money, expensive shit going on. Is that a good job or are you living foul, brother? Because I need to understand why Jackson isn't so safe for you. I know the water isn't safe, but is it really that unsafe for her to walk around in broad daylight? Like, I just kind of was looking at Glenn like, you're full of shit, right? Like, this is just ridiculous that we even going to act like the truth of the matter is that you're worried about her safety. You're not worried about her safety. You weren't worried about her safety when you were cheating on her, right? You probably weren't having her followed around when you were cheating, right? You only want to do all of that now because you're worried that she may be doing what you were doing, and she still wouldn't be doing what you were doing because technically y'all are not together because she left the household because you cheated and had a baby on her. So the fact that you're not worried that she can be entertaining other men because she's not answering your phone calls is ridiculous. It's possessive. It's psychotic. And I don't understand how we can fast forward to today and Glenn and Letitia are together. Because to me, he's going to act like, oh, I'm losing my mind because she didn't left me and I don't know what to do. When really, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You don't like the fact that it could be a possibility that you could be treated the way you treated her. So now you're having this crazy ass violent reaction by stalking her because you don't trust that she's not doing what you were doing. And the funny part about it is, if I was Letitia, I would absolutely be dating. And you would just have to be mad. You would have to be upset and you would have to be mad. Because I need to understand how you think you can cheat on me over and over again, have a baby on me, and then run behind me all over Jackson, Mississippi, like I owe you explanation. I honestly, that would have made me divorce him. Fuck being separated. Fuck getting your family back. Now you're stalking me and making me feel like I need to worry about my safety, all because you're having a bad reaction from cheating on me. This reverse psychology flip bullshit where you feel guilty because of what you did. Instead of feeling guilty because of what you did, you're going to project it and put it on me like I did something to you. Is that clear? Yeah, I would have. I'm sorry, Letitia, but you crazy as hell. I would have divorced Glenn for that. I would have divorced him. I would have divorced him and told him to stay the fuck away from me. Stay away from me. You can pick your child up from my mama house when I'm not here. Drop him off. Get out of my face. I don't care about what you want. I don't care about what you thought you wanted for our son. I don't fuck about none of that. I don't want to be around you, and I shouldn't have to be around you. Period. I don't think that women should be forced to deal with possessive, controlling, abusive men just because they have children with them. And that's what y'all do to these women. That's what y'all do. That's why y'all love telling them that y'all want them to have y'all babies and shit. Because if you decide that you want to keep a woman, but you don't want to marry her, put a baby in her. Put a baby in her so that you can use the child to dictate how that woman lives her life without ever having to give her commitment. That's why for years we were asking, how is it that you niggas have babies with women, but y'all don't want to marry them? Because marrying a woman requires taking care of her and that child financially, and it requires you having the expectation of being monogamous. But see, if you put a baby in her, then you can still have access to her. You can still fuck her when you want to. And it doesn't mean that you're committed to her. But you can still expect her to be committed to you or be loyal to you or respecting you, because you'll frame it like, if she's not respecting you, she's not respecting the kid, which will then make her look like a bad mother. And no woman wants to look like a bad mother. It's a mind fuck if I've ever seen it. I would divorce him for that alone. And if I wanted to eventually get back with you, if it felt like you were worthy of that to me, if you felt safe enough for me to get back with you, then maybe along the line somewhere. But I would divorce him and have no plans on being with him. I would get the fuck away from him, because you're not going to dog me out and then control me because you scared that I might do to you what you did to me. Boy, you with that you all them just with. Okay? Letitia is gonna stay with Glenn for the hustle money, the same way he stays close to Marie to get her investment money on the fair. Letitia, she knows Marie is a sucker for those close to her. Oh, the same way Marie is close to okay. I got you guys. I see what you're saying. I see the ancestors are shining through today. I don't know, girl. I'm just doing the best I can. Don't forget she gave Glenn 109% of her business. Girl, what? She gave that nigga what? Marriage isn't commitment to these men. They don't value it. No, they don't. But what I'm saying is some men value marriage for what it means for their image. Truly, there are like Ray J and them, there are men that view them having a wife and children as a good look for them. Because for white men and Middle Eastern men and Asian men and all of the masters of the universe in our world, those men have wives and children. Okay? So having families is valuable. Black men don't want to, a lot of black men do not want to compete with those men. So they don't think that having what those men have is valuable, but in this world, it absolutely is valuable. And the men that are really trying to make money like that know that. That's why they'll always go and have or find them another wife. They'll have children, whatever, but they will have a family and lineage that is supposed to be representative of them and what they have on this earth. It is what it is. It's always been like that. So for these men that say they don't value marriage, it's because women are giving them what used to only require, they used to only get with the requirement of marriage. But because nowadays you convince women to give men marriage treatment without marrying them. That's the only reason why a lot of black men don't get married, because black women do not require marriage in order to treat a man like he's her husband. She will cook and clean and go half on the bills and have children with him, and he never has to marry her. He never has to fully commit to her. So she'll go along with that. That's the reason why. If women were requiring marriage in order to get pussy like they used to back in the 50s and 60s, then you would probably see a whole bunch of men marrying more than they do. Most men that marry nowadays is because they literally want to build something, or they want to just have a wife because it's somebody that's going to take care of them. And they know that giving the woman wife shit means that she's going to forever feel indebted to him. They know that. At some point, men know that marriage is most suitable for them because they can get women to do whatever they want them to do. It is what it is. Okay? My little girl, I agree. He is dusty. I thought she gave him 51%, but then he said he didn't want it. Just he wanted to see if she'd give it to him. Playing fucking mind games. Production stayed and filmed that parking lot scene because they knew he wouldn't do nothing to her on camera. I would love to know how many men really do try to get their exes to sleep with them to help or be there for the kids. So many. There are so many men that I know that literally what they do for their own child is based off of how they feel about the mother. I get hit on by more married men than single men, and they don't think it's a big deal. Frustrating. Yeah, they'll still cheat. They'll still cheat. Yeah. I'm not saying that marriage means that men won't cheat. That's not what I'm saying. Me and my husband didn't live together until we got emanated and about to have our son. I don't know what that means. I did not play house because you don't have no bills over. Hello, some sick in the head. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me get back to it. All right. So after Glenn peeled off from the parking lot and almost hit production, Letitia has to go inside with Marie and Latrice. Child, Latrice with her jean jacket outfit on. Child, I ain't gonna lie, I was tickled. But she went and they all went and sat down and talked, and she was, a little frazzled. Latrice saw the whole situation in the parking lot. He thinks she's cheating. Maria and Latrice are moving forward. Okay. They discuss Akeisha calling them ugly. Latrice says obviously she wasn't talking about me, girl. Okay. And I was like, obviously. Letitia, I mean, none of them are ugly, honestly. I don't know if Akeisha really said that. We're gonna have to see. Because Akeisha said she didn't say that, but Tambra said that's what she said. And personally, I believe that Akeisha probably would have said that and thought Tambra wasn't going to say anything. There does seem, child, I ain't going to call it colorism. I'm going to let it go. But I'm just waiting on it because it is Mississippi. And Akeisha does give colorist tendencies to me, which means you'll feel that women that are browner than you are automatically less attractive. And then you'll have those types of ignorant conversations with women who you believe the same thing that you do because they're the same complexion as you are. So I don't know if Akeisha said that. I don't. But I also feel like it is reasonable that she could have said that if she was going off about them and was talking shit about them, then she could have called them ugly, especially if she grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, being light bright and being perceived as beautiful and special, all just because she was light bright. It is Jackson, Mississippi, baby, but we'll see. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So Letitia tells them about Damon and the decorator. And Letitia feels like, girl, I just need Tambra to tell me the truth so I can defend her. Like, I need you to tell me, girl. And I feel like you do not need that girl. You do not need that girl to tell you her business so you can defend her. You don't need to defend her. If the decorator says she fucking with Damon, then you should just kind of be like, say, girl, I don't know what's going on over there, but my decorator told me she fucking with Damon. I don't know if it's true or not, but she told me. And if she told me, that means she done told somebody else. And you know how these niggas can be. So just do your own detective work. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. It's just what I heard. And I would want somebody to tell me because of what I'm going through, girl. I wish somebody would have told me something sooner. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on out there for you. Do with it what you will. That's how the conversation should have went. But Letitia was working from a place of misery loves company a little bit with the way she handled Tambra with this whole Damon situation. Akeisha is colorist. Remember when she came, she said her and Tambra were in the pretty girl group. Both are light skinned. I remember. I remember, girl. That's why I said what I said, girl. I don't just be saying these things just cause now. Y'all know me. I didn't look and paid attention. If I feel away, it's because I didn't seen something. All right, make sure y'all like the video. So Gucci and JJ. Okay, so let me tell y'all something. JJ and these two little bitty ponytails are wearing me out. JJ, I don't know what's going on with your hair, but your plaits have been that small for years now. So I have to wonder, are you thinning? Is your hair naturally thin? Like, what's going on with the hair when it's not in the two little bitty plaits? Because they have length. And you put, the Serena and Venus Williams beads on the end, so they'll have a little hang time there. But I need to understand what's going on with the thickness. Okay, what's going on with the thickness? I feel like if your hair is that thin, you need to figure something else out, JJ. I really would like for you to figure something else out, but something tells me that you light bright niggas is so excited to have hair that, hang down like that. You think you're a Native American. Woo, you think you're doing something. So I'm going to just go ahead and leave you alone. But you look a mess. All right. So Gucci and JJ. Child, y'all know their whole blended family over there. They discussed their kids. We didn't get into it this episode, but we see Sunjay and Star and Sky, baby, daddy babies over there, got beef with D, which is So Gucci's daughter, who's I believe pregnant at this current juncture. She also has an older son, a nice looking young man. So then they get to talking about Glenn having an outside child. And of course, JJ is doing what the men always do. Stay on code, keep the lie alive. I don't even know the nigga. The nigga could try to shoot me in the street for all I know, but he got a penis. So that means I'm going to say he is innocent until proven guilty. Do y'all know what's so bothersome to me? It's bothersome to me that men act as if women are out here overreacting and they aren't really out here cheating like that. Women are just lying about how much they're cheating. That's annoying to me because I'm like, no, like on every show, you niggas are cheating. Like you admitted to the cheating. You said you cheated. So why is like Glenn admitted to cheating, y'all? Glenn admitted to talking to people. Glenn admitted to having sex with this woman. Like girl, that baby probably is Glenn's baby. I don't even want to hear that shit. Okay. But my point is, we've already discussed that you've been cheating on that lady all of y'all marriage, okay? The fact that there is a man named JJ that does not know him that's making the argument that it could be a lie because the women said it. I was just kind of like, why do y'all act like it's preposterous and this woman can be lying if you know that most men cheat? I'm so confused by that, y'all. I'm so confused by you not even knowing Glenn and having the attitude that I need to hear his side of it. You can't just believe what women say. You can't? About cheating, you can't just believe what women say. Really? 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 But you can believe a nigga you've never met before didn't cheat. You haven't even heard what he said, but you want to not believe it, even though everybody's already said it's true. It's very weird that y'all do that. It's very, very weird that y'all do that. Something tells me that they don't have to have a DNA test. Something tells me that Glenn knows that's his child. And the reason why he has not had a DNA test is because he wants to be able to keep up the idea that it could possibly not be his. Keep stretching it out. Like, what? So JJ annoyed me with that shit. I'm like, here y'all go with this, stupid nigga solidarity shit. But that's cool. Just don't be mad when when women do the same thing. Don't be mad. It's bro code. They all stick up for other men when it comes to cheating. Okay. I just want y'all to, and this is what y'all not gonna do. Y'all not gonna be fair. Y'all gonna jump through all of these hoops to protect men in their cheating. Correct? Okay. So I just want to be clear. When y'all get dogged out, why is it we got to see all this petty shit in the comments and stuff? Like, I would just let it go, child. But it's just crazy to me how they can cheat on you, protect each other from consequences, and then when a woman does it to them, all of a sudden it's World War III. It's World War III in a bitch low down, dirty, ski, skip, skag, salad. When she did the same thing you did. Ain't that some shit? Crazy as hell. Anyway, y'all, so Letitia has a party for her son's 7th birthday party. And this is the same day that Glenn ran up on her, ran down on her when she was meeting with Marie and Latrice, right? So this is earlier that day. So she and Glenn had been arguing, and he showed up with the son late to the party, it seemed like. Latrice tells Glenn that she's glad he's not upset with her anymore, and Letitia is upset. And Treese is trying to like run interference. The whole time Glenn and Letitia are going back and forth, Latrice is trying to run interference. Oh, well, look at the balloons. And oh, don't y'all want to open the presents? And Letitia was trying to make Glenn stay over here. Don't come over there by me and my son. Let us open our presents. You stay over here. I was just kind of like, child, he not going to do that. He not gonna do that. He gonna want to be by you and open the presents and be close and try to force you into pretending like everything is okay in front of everybody when you really just want him to leave you alone and create some distance so you don't have to pretend so hard. That's what it felt like for me. For me watching this, it felt like Glenn wanted Letitia to pretend like everything was okay for the boys' party, which means having conversations she don't want to have, which means allowing him to touch her and do things as if everything is okay, when really she is pissed the fuck off because he just followed her around Jackson, Mississippi all morning. But then when it's time to drop the baby off at the party, your ass is late. Dusty ass Glenn, he the pappy. Thank you for the super chat, Pamela. Child, I think so too. So he wants to talk. She tells him to go talk to Cliff. Get out of my face and go talk to Cliff. He got people following her because Jackson isn't safe. That's what he told Cliff. If he didn't answer the phone, she would say he's guilty automatically. It's like, I hate the way you're trying to flip it as if you didn't cheat on her. If she were to suspect you of something, she would be right because you have been cheating on her. You suspecting her without her ever cheating on you is how it doesn't make sense, Glenn. That's what you don't seem to understand. You're acting as if you're the victim in this situation. He basically said, I'm the GOAT, and the eagle did pick me up and drop me off the side of the mountain. She got me losing my mind. And Letitia comes back inside like, I hope you over here running your mouth telling this man the truth instead of lying on me like you like to do. Okay? Which reminds me of the way men try to make themselves out to be a victim whenever their woman isn't forgiving them fast enough. And then he says in the confessional, it's not like he's trying to force her to forgive him. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're trying to force her to forgive you so you can stop feeling like shit, because now you feel like shit and you're worried and you don't like this feeling. So you want her to hurry up and get over what you've done to her so that you can stop feeling bad, which is selfish and fucked up, if you ask me. Okay? I understand why it would be so hard to get along with this man during this party. I really do. But I really wish that Letitia would have completely disengaged. And when I say disengaged, I mean no argument. I'm not looking at you. I'm not talking to you. As far as you're concerned, dead. Dead in the eyes, dead in response. My son, yeah, come on, let's open up the presents. And honestly, I would have been the one like, I'm gonna sit down over here. You and your daddy open up your presents. I'm gonna sit down right here. I got you, baby. I'm right here. And I would have let him and his daddy do all of that. I would have let him and his daddy open up the presents together. That way it doesn't seem like I'm trying to exclude you, but I'm just gonna take myself out the equation because I don't want to be near you right now. That's what I would have done. Okay? Because you ain't about to make me out to be the bad guy in this situation like everybody tried to do it. Because people gonna make Letitia out to be the bad guy because she wasn't going along with the get along with him. After he had antagonized her, showed up, scared the shit out of her, and all of that earlier that day. She was supposed to have calmed down and been able to put all of that to the side for the kids, even though he couldn't stop aggravating the shit out of her about talking about it. Because he want to know why she not answering the phone and all of that. So they can't even get through the baby party without him trying to have a conversation. But she was supposed to be able to get through the baby party without acting annoyed by him, right? So that's why I feel like I would have just took myself out of the situation. I would have been like, go ahead and open up the presents with your daddy. I'm going to be over here. Go ahead and do it. I'm going to take the pictures. Y'all do what y'all got to do. And then I might come in for a couple of gifts, take a few pictures to make sure it's shown that his mama was there and his mama was sitting right there. And then that would have been it. I wouldn't have, like, you know how they showed him and Tisha opening the gifts with the baby together and all of that. I don't need the help. I don't need the help. Daddy would have been doing that by himself because I would not have been doing that fake ass interaction, smiling, family get together bullshit with him in that moment. I would not have been doing it. That little boy know that they in discourse. That little boy was sitting in the car while Letitia was on speakerphone cursing Glenn ass out on the phone on the way over there. So he know that they in argument. He know that they're in discourse right now. It ain't no surprise. He knew what he was doing. Thank you, Lysandra. Thank you. And I believe he did. Thank you for the super chat, girl. So Tisha says that it's his ego and he needs to get his shit together. He let his ego rule him. He need to get his shit together. He walks up on her. Like he walked up on her. And I was like, why he walking up on her like that? Talking about she not gonna disrespect him. And Cliff gets in between them. Latrice gets in between them. And Marie comes in and says, y'all need to pull it together for Joshua. Okay? And Latrice and Tisha go, off to themselves and talk. And she says Glenn needs to work on himself. He isn't accepting her at her best right now. And I was just like, I think she needs to leave him. And I know people love to be like, you can't tell nobody. Yeah, I can. I think she should leave him. I don't think she should stay with him. I think that getting back with him is not going to make her feel better. I think she thinks it will, But if you actually did change during this time, he's the same. And you're going to get back with him, and he's still going to be the same, and you're going to be different, which means you're going to have to fake the funk even harder to be happy when you're really not. See, a lot of times women will be living in a peaceful bliss with these niggas, right? They know shit going on, but they can ignore it. But once they leave the nigga and the nigga starts showing his ass and start acting a fool, the shit becomes unforgivable at some point. Like, you really dogging me out like this because I'm mad at you for dogging me out in the marriage? Wow. So abuse me further. Wow. And she got back with him, which tells me that he hasn't changed and you just acquiesce to the pressure, which makes me sad. But you're going to do what you're going to do. And I ain't going to judge you, girl. But I wouldn't have stayed with him, especially not after all of this. Marie and Akeisha get the babies together. Y'all, this scene was so adorable because Zane and Four, Akeisha's son Four and Marie's grandson Zane, run up to each other and hug each other immediately. It was the cutest thing I have ever seen. I was like, those little babies, precious little babies, set the tone for the rest of this conversation. Marie doesn't want to talk about, Akeisha saying the women were ugly. Instead, they talk about what Marie has been going through raising Jerez's child ever since his, baby mama got killed. And Akeisha tears up thinking about how she would feel leaving her baby behind because she has kids and she got a brand new kid, a young baby. They're the same age and she couldn't imagine leaving her baby behind. So she gets emotional. And then Marie talks about her lupus and how people don't believe when she's sick because she doesn't look sick. And I've heard a lot of people say that lupus is a sickness that you can't you don't always look like Trick Daddy. You don't always look like Trick Daddy, girl. Sometimes you look like Tony Braxton and you're just tired. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Lupus is a very precarious disease. It's attacking you from the inside. So it's not going to always show on the outside. But I also feel like the way Marie likes to be a martyr, to me, I would often wonder if she was using her sickness in order to manipulate people, because I feel like she loves to receive sympathy from people. I don't know why, even though I'm not a victim and I'm strong and da-da-da. Yeah, you like to be a martyr, but you also love for people to woo the shit out of you. Almost to the point where I feel like you put shit on your back so that people will feel sorry for you and view you as a martyr. So I just kind of be looking at Marie sometimes like, I know it must be a lot. I hate that I feel like I can't always trust the way she expresses herself. You know what I'm saying? Why I just spit my drink. Why you spit your drink out? But I did appreciate Akeisha sympathizing with her, having this conversation, talking about how she deals with the pain and everything. It still was just a really good scene. Like them having that moment, I appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? I agree with your assessment of Marie. Oh, great. I appreciate that. Trick doesn't take his meds, among other things. Amongst other things, child. I have lupus too, and my appearance is still good unless I get on prednisone and then I get chipmunk cheeks. Oh, well, I'm glad you're doing all right. Child, I feel sorry for y'all. I do. And I say that, for real. Like, I feel bad for people who have those types of ailments, because I've had a few in my life, like, ailments, issues where you had to have surgery or be in a hospital. I had pneumonia and all kind of shit, stuff with my womb, all of that stuff. And being sick is not fun, especially once you start working out like I have, not being able to be mobile, not being able to move your body as you see fit, being in pain all the time. I feel bad. I really, really do. And I pray that somebody come out with something to fix it, Jesus. Okay. But at the same time, I have to sometimes look at people like with that Munchausen syndrome shit, where you can invoke sympathy from people. So you do. I worry every day about my mama with her lupus. Shot, I'm gonna pray for y'all. Talking about not everyone looks like Trick Dad. Cause it's true. Worst looking lupus case I ever seen. I was surprised when Marie BFF said she has lupus also. Really? I didn't know Essie had it. My cousin has diabetes, but she uses it to manipulate my entire family. So that's a word. I'm telling people do that all the time. That is so true about lupus. I have lupus and people think I'm being lazy when I can't get out of bed at times. Oh, that's so unfortunate. It's hard to detect episodes with lupus, but Marie using her illness for sympathy, please. That's what she be feeling like to me, honestly. And I'm glad that there's so many of y'all in my comments that have it so that y'all understand that I'm not, saying that, because I do understand. Because fuck, I don't have no ailment like that. And sometimes I don't be feeling good either, bitch. I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like doing nothing. I don't give a fuck. See what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I mean? You don't always need no reason for these people. I don't want to. The fuck? I'm tired. Why I gotta be sick? I'm just tired. Fuck. You know? So you ain't gotta explain to me, child. But I'm glad y'all here so y'all understand. I'm not trying to say she lying. I'm just saying I feel like she's manipulative. I wonder if the water are affecting the residents. I wonder. Because they said it's certain parts, not all of Jackson. My sister just passed away from sarcoidosis. Ooh, sarcoidosis. And people barely knew besides her inner circle. She never used it for sympathy. Child, I'm sorry to hear that, Shantia. I don't like that she does that. I have RA and I don't have any sympathy. If I'm tired, I lay the fuck down and regroup. I know that's right. Marie wants sympathy and wants to be seen as a victim because her mom didn't give her any attention growing up. Same thing with Marlo. Being sick is not fun. Me having breast cancer, I stayed in the hospital, especially when COVID hit. I had COVID. Anybody saying, child, don't cry, child. Oh, I'm so glad you made it. Everybody made it. So glad you made it, child, because that pneumonia kicked my ass. I didn't have pneumonia a couple of times. That shit kicked my ass. I remember one time I was in so much damn pain, just sitting there in pain. Everything hurt. I ain't never in my life experienced where everything hurt. That's what Bernie Mac had. Yeah, I forgot Bernie Mac had lupus. Yes, the residents are affected. They are told not to open their mouths while showering, then have some have no water at all. Child, when I tell y'all I'd have moved out of Jackson, I'd have moved out of Jackson so damn quick. I'd have just been like, child, we just gotta go. I can't stay here, ain't got no fucking water. I'm praying for y'all though, because that's terrible. I'm praying for the people of Jackson, Mississippi. I really need to understand what this country is going through when y'all got billions of dollars to send to other countries, but you don't have running clean water in the cities of your own country. That makes no sense. The only way we should ever be sending money to other countries is when we don't have issues like that in our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy as hell to me. But anyway, y'all, let's get back into Belle Collective. So the men meet up. Glenn says 1 minute they good, 1 minute he's the devil. And the whole baby rumor is based off of a rumor. I appreciate Cliff being honest in the confessional, but I also recognize that nobody was being real with Glenn to his face, as if they were scared that Glenn was going to pop off and get violent if somebody were honest with him. And I said this on Twitter. I said, it, or maybe it wasn't Twitter, maybe it was no, it was on Instagram. It was another post. But I noticed this. I really can't stand how weak men are and then act like they're strong. They're, to me, the sign of how weak men are comes down to whoever the loudest nigga in the room is. If there is a loud ass nigga saying something with great assertion, then the other men, even if they don't agree with it, even if they know it's wrong, are going to either be quiet or go along with it, which is so weak to me. I don't know how you can like call yourself a man the way y'all do when it seems as if you're only boisterous. You only are like, 10 toes down and assertive when you're talking to a woman, unless you're a crazy nigga like Glenn. Glenn is crazy, I feel. There's a level of Glenn that we're not seeing, but I feel like Glenn is somebody that has a hard time controlling himself. He's not in control of himself. Cliff is too old for this shit. JJ, another one, got a little bit more control of himself, gives more of a class clown. I'm going to make you laugh so I don't have to beat your ass or I don't get my ass beat type of vibe. And then you got Will, I believe that's Akeisha's husband. Akeisha's husband is just like, something wrong with y'all niggas, but I'm just going to act like, I'm going to make my little smart, slick comments, but I ain't going to really argue with y'all because I can tell this nigga is not okay. That's the vibe it was given when the men were fishing and talking about Glenn and his outside baby and him trying to make excuses, talking about all black people got the same nose. No, we don't, Glenn. We don't all have the same nose. And you should get a DNA test. Cliff was talking cash money shit in a confessional about how crazy Glenn sounded all throughout the episode. They never said none of that shit to his face. JJ seems to want to take Glenn's side, and that makes me feel like JJ is another weak, people-pleasing type of man. And I hate that y'all, because y'all gonna take the men gonna take so much offense to that, and they're gonna want to come at a woman about it. And I would just like for y'all to be a little bit stronger in the way y'all handle the men in y'all's vicinity, because to me, it's weak for you to know a man is wrong, know a man is lying, know a man is on bullshit, and still go along with it because you are too scared of his reaction. Like, that's to me what it felt like. JJ playing class clown and laughing it off and bringing up how him and Cliff share a woman. I don't even know what the fuck they were talking about Cliff and him sharing a woman. I don't know what that was about, but all of it gives weak to me. All of it gives, and everybody wants to talk about bro code, but these niggas don't know anything about bro code. You know why they don't know anything about bro code? Because they'll fuck each other's women. So that's why I feel like bro code is stupid and irrelevant most of the time, especially because there should be no bro code when you lay down next to a woman every night. Meaning your trust and your code of ethics and honor should be with that woman, not with these niggas. Okay, because these niggas don't care about you and these niggas don't give a fuck about you. The only reason they're keeping the lie alive is because it benefits them at some point to keep the lie alive. I think Cliff messed with So Gucci before. Okay, I was wondering how, what, when, why, and what. They meant Cliff dated Selena. Oh, Cliff dated Sanjay and their mama back in the day. Okay. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Cliff seemed like he was on all of the young girls' asses. Okay. Glenn starts talking about him doing everything to get Letitia back. But she could not be answering the phone because she really want that big 15 from Tyrone. Willie was like, 15? And I thought that was so funny. It's like, you done cheated on this lady, y'all whole relationship, but you sitting up here talking about she could be lying to you and then go and get big dick from somebody. So first of all, you're insecure about your dick. And also you're scared that she's going to act how you acted. Like, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy the way y'all really say these things as if you don't sound crazy, that you expect treatment that you don't give, and that you can't take what you shell out. Like, you really, really be out here crazy as hell. Glenn is a stalker, has ego problems. Like, it's insane the way he talks and the things that he says and how everybody kind of just goes along with it or laughs it off. When really, like, that type of mindset that Glenn has is dangerous. Letitia is a possession. Okay. What else happened? All of the women. Oh wait, yeah. I talked about that. Okay, all the women meet up. Akeisha wasn't invited to Marie's party. She needs to know why. Tambra, okay, don't like the he said, she said as it pertains to Damon and the decorator. Latrice feels like like, who's fake? Latrice feels like she's fake. Maybe Akeisha, I think she said she felt like Akeisha was fake. Letitia says Tambra said that at times. And Tambra says shady, like she makes shady comments. I'm like, what other shady? Are we talking about like shady business practices? Girl, I guess. Letitia says, you said you loved my brunches beforehand. Then you get to the brunch and you being shady. Akeisha says, all I said was my plate was dirty and you felt the way before I even got there. Akeisha says that apparently Letitia was jealous of her. She needs to make sure her plates weren't dirty. Okay. And I'm going to just say this. I feel two ways. First of all, I feel like Akeisha absolutely throws everything in people's faces in order to make herself seem special. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Akeisha, her interactions are, I'm trying to best you. It may seem like, she may think she's trying to relate to you, but what it sounds like to me is you're trying to best whoever you're having a conversation with. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I've done this and I've done that. Oh, you did this, I've done that too. Like, oh my God, bitch, give us a moment. Give us a moment to finish telling you about us before you tell us some more about you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful of that sometimes. I hate that she keeps calling her the decorator. I mean, well, we don't know the girl, so she's the decorator because we don't know her. She ain't on the show. Thank you, Pamela. Real men hold boys and grown bodies accountable. That's how I feel. You make my day, Bondi. Thank you, K-Rub. Thank you, Pamela, for the super chat. I appreciate y'all. She's a one-upper. That's what it felt like. To me, that's what her energy feels like. And I also feel like that's because I have interacted with those types of, and this is no shade, y'all, but there is a stereotypical light complected Whitley Gilbert. I'm better than everybody. You know, my family did this and that, and I'm light complected, and the world is mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have definitely encountered those types of personalities before. And I feel like it was only a matter of time until we got one of those personalities on a Southern show. A show like Belle Collective should absolutely have a Giselle or a Robin. Because that's what the makeup of the town is. It's gonna have some light complected woman that believes that she's so fucking special in comparison to everybody else. Not to say that Akeisha isn't deserving of her respect because of the things she's accomplished, but she will probably expect people to bow down to her whether she is accomplished or not. Okay. So yeah, y'all, they said her name multiple times. She being passive aggressive. She needs to say whatever she needs to say. She thinks she is better than dark-skinned women. I think she talks a lot, like a whole lot. Akeisha face older than the she's the one upper. I hate, yeah, okay. So yeah, y'all, that's it. That's all. I'm gonna come back for Black Ass Bravo after I get a snack and some tea. So it's 1:30. I'll probably be back at 2. Okay. But that's my little weekends on own situation with Ready to Love and Belle Collective. I've been up here for 2 hours. I didn't even mean to be up here for 2 hours. That's why I'm gonna take a little 30-minute break. JJX mess with Cliff. Yeah, we talked about that. Tambra is passive aggressive. She is. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Stacey Ladisaw has been Stacey Ladisaw. That sounds familiar, but I cannot remember who that is. But yeah, y'all. All right. Girl, I'm done for now. I'll be back later. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow the website, bondyblueshow.com. If this goes missing, that is where it will be until I can get it re-edited and back up to you guys. So I will see you guys shortly for Black Ass Bravo.